Este 2022 se cumplen 30 años del estreno de una de las películas deportivas que formó a más de uno. Los campeones acá de Mighty Ducks es su nombre original, algo que se transformó en franquicia porque tuvo 2 películas más y el año pasado fue revivido por Disney Plus con una serie que contó con cameos de varios de los actores originales, entre ellos Matt Doherty, con quien pude hablar sobre cómo fue, qué significa ser parte de este legado llamado The Mighty Ducks.
We now return to Mira Akien and Contre with our latest interview.
None of us knew how to play. We all lied to get the part. Yeah. Yeah, that's a general rule they teach you as an actor. If you can, if they ask you, you know how to ride a horse, you just say you do.
That hurt! Oh, it's the Caddy Meister!
We all went to hockey camp for 6 weeks, and I recall just falling around and being we had a coach that, that's what he did. He taught actors. That was his thing. He taught actors how to be, he was a professional hockey player and all that. His name's Jack White. And he trained us all. And on the end of the first day, he promised we'd all be skating backwards. I'll never forget that. And we all were skating backwards by the end of the first day. And those were the best memories I have of those movies, was actually hockey camp, because it was like we would train for 4 hours a day, and then we would go to school for 4 hours a day. And this was before we started the movie. So we would those are some really special times in my life that I still cherish.
So what do we do now, coach?
What did your old coach have you do?
He just yelled a lot. Yeah, that's how he hurt his arm.
His arm?
You told me about the real coach that you had that taught you how to play. How about Emilio? How was him as a coach, or maybe as a father figure, especially in the first one? And then how did you develop this relationship with him?
Oh, he's an amazing human being. An amazing, amazing human being. I learned how to be a leader, how to be an actor and a professional on set from him, just in general, like how he always treated everybody right. And it didn't matter if you were a famous actor, or you were just this person holding a thing on, in the background and running errands for the assistant director. Everybody was treated with equality. And I always thought that was that's a rare quality with people who were superstars at the time of Ducks. I mean, he was literally the biggest star in Hollywood at the time. And he was married to Paula Abdul, and we were like, and we'd all when she was there, we'd all want to go to the craft service table and try to sneak up or go, hey, it's Paula Abdul, and then but it was he was just he still is, he's a mentor and a friend and just such a good man.
Don't be scared of them, Ducks. That's what they want. Keep your heads up. Play proud. Let's fly! Yeah! Come on, let's go!
When did you learn that you were going to come back for this movie? Not for the Disney series, just for the second one first.
I mean, there was rumors, but it's so, first of all, it's a long time ago. Second of all, it was such a whirlwind of an experience. Like I said, I've been doing this my whole life, and we're lucky if we get a couple of things that have some kind of lasting experience, let alone changing a sport. People, literally the Mighty Ducks changed hockey. Not a lot of people know that. We literally changed hockey, and that's crazy. I have professional athletes who thank me when I once in a while will do appearances and be like, I play hockey because of the Mighty Ducks, or so my memory of it is such a blur. But I do remember my dad turning on the TV and saying, hey, check that out, and they were making an announcement that on CNN or one of the news networks that Disney was going to buy, was having a hockey team, and they were calling, and I was like, oh, I guess we're doing Ducks 2. But we had shot a scene at the end of Ducks 1 that wasn't in the script. It's the very, very last scene in Ducks 1 where he's getting on the bus, and there's a line where he says, I'll see you next year. We got a title to defend, right? So none of us knew that. And that was actually shot the very last day of production. So we were all really emotional. None of us knew if we would see each other again. And he said that, and like none of us knew. So there was like this, wait a second. And then, you know, that's just how it went. And then we came back and did the second, and then we did the third. Yeah.
Hey, Ducks! No matter what happens, we'll see you next season. We got a title to defend.
By the end of the third movie, a few of us actually played. I played high school hockey, and I was going to play college hockey, and I still play. I've actually got a game tonight. I'm playing with my guys that I play with. So that was like the best thing, was like just being able. I never was good at a sport before, so it was really great to be to like learn how to do something like that. And it's an expensive sport, so it was like, you know, for me and how I, you know, where I grew up, and to be able to like have all this free ice time and all that stuff. And then not a lot of people know this, but like what would happen during Ducks 2, especially because now the cat's out of the bag, Disney's buying a hockey team, you know, it's a crazy time. And we were training in a place called Pickwick, which was out here in LA. And there's only a few hockey rinks in Los Angeles. And so it's a very small community. And amongst there's a really small community of actors and industry professionals who play hockey. And they have like secret games and stuff. So a lot of these like famous people would come and skate with us because we had free ice time. And I'll never forget like watching Keanu Reeves play goalie before us. You know, he would play like, we had the ice from like 11 to like, I don't know, whatever. I'm making that time up because it's many years ago, but he would play with his team like right before us. And we'd all be like, that's Keanu Reeves. You know? And
did you play with Keanu? Did you actually, or did you just
only like cross? I think we invited him to play with us, but like, you know, he like that guy, he's such a class act. Like everything about who that person is I never really interacted with him personally, but just what I hear is just what an individual he is. So.
Yeah.
Evidently he's like I only watched him play goal. He was really good, but he's like he's an athlete. He's like a natural athlete.
You got to spread your up to the maximum.
Yeah, it's so strange, the legacy of it all. I mean, it's big everywhere. It's big in Australia. I remember, I mean, like I said, it's surreal.
Yeah.
It's surreal to, I mean, like, it's helped me growing up in this industry, which I wasn't born into it. I just got lucky, right? But I think I was blessed with some talent, and then I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. But like, just growing up around this stuff has, you know, made me the writer and the filmmaker and all the things I do today because of the fact that I got to like be on set and watch how things go. And then, you know, it's like joining a circus at a really young age, you know, and you just realize you're a circus animal. And and sometimes like I've had every experience you can think of, and even including being living in Sweden in my early 30s and working in a warehouse because I was just wanting to get out of Hollywood. And I was working in a film warehouse, and I was putting stickers on films in this warehouse, right? And I was putting stickers on movies I was in Sweden. So it was like, you know, everything from that to like being able to, you know, meet Wayne Gretzky, and it's such a ridiculous experience. And every time I meet people, like you said, who said they grew up with this, or their kids are watching it, or it's just I ask myself like, why? And I think it's because we all love stories that are, you know, kind of about working together and overcoming and being, who doesn't feel on the outside not counted? I think we're all feel, if we're honest, feel like you know, members of District 5, and so I think that's why the story, and that's why it's so important, and I think that's why it's so needed right now. We'd heard, you know, murmurs and rumors for a while, And I've been blessed to stay in touch with like Jordan Kerner and Steve Brill and these people who, really changed my life and, created that whole thing. And so there'd be these stories of like that this was going to go, but there's a lot. I mean, Touchstone Pictures and Buena Vista, and I mean, these companies don't even exist anymore. So like there was so like when people don't realize like what has to happen in order for like a reboot, right? Like there's so many legalities that have to get kind of signed off on. So that was the big hurdle for a long time, was just getting all our quote unquote ducks in a row. And so I'd hear it about it. And then I remember getting a text from Steve Brill that they were a go and, come on up and, et cetera. And I was like, and then this was literally right before pandemic, right? And then pandemic hit, they got canceled, and then they came back. And then we, I think they dramatically had to alter what they wanted to do because they wanted to bring everybody back, but because of the COVID protocols, you couldn't. And so I was fortunate enough to make the cut. And then I remember that was it was in October of 2020. So just what a crazy time for all of us. And then to quarantine in a hotel room for 14 days. But I think the best part was meeting the kids that were on the show. And I remember going to like lunch with some of the kids, and we just hung out, and it was so surreal to be, on the other side and sharing experiences and talking to the parents and playing hockey with the kids. And it was just such an experience that I won't forget. And the best part was because of COVID, we had to, not do anything for 14 days. And then things are slow because it's COVID. So we got to spend these extra days together, Garrett and Eldon and Marguerite and Vinny and Justin and I, and Justin, all these OG Ducks, we all grew up together. So like we just sat and did exactly what we did when we were teenagers and like watched sports and hung out and then ate food. It was great. It was really great.
I drive a limo for a dude who makes a lot more money than me.
So who taught you it was okay to drive a limo on the ice?
I learned from the best.